Good morning, happy September, and welcome to First Friday. I am Martie Hoofer, Digital Content Manager of Keep Indiana Learning, and we are excited to be here for another month. We can argue about whether it's fall or not, you know, that whole argument. Yes, pumpkin spice things are out, but it's technically still summer. So you can decide where you fall on that very controversial topic. But I'm excited to be joined today by Tanika and Courtney, colleagues and friends here at Keep Indiana Learning, and we have great things to share with you today. So it is National Wear Your School Colors Day. So we are all representing our undergrad institutions. So Tanika, Tanika, go ahead. Introduce yourself. Tell us where you went to school, and excited to chat with you this morning.
Thank you, Martie, for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I am Tanika Kinartail, and I am a professional learning specialist here at Keep Indiana Learning. And I attended IU Bloomington, Crimson and Cream, whoop, whoop, IU. I loved IU so much that I also attended graduate school there too. But nonetheless, we're only talking about undergraduate. So yes, I attended IU, and it was the time of my life. I really, really loved my time there. So much so that I worked for the Office of Admissions, recruiting other students of color from high schools, and they would come and stay the night. And we would, that was scary, but it was fun though. But I was one of the directors of the recruitment program. It was called the Multicultural Outreach Educators. Way long name, but it was a great time. And I did that for several years. So I was, the high school students would come and we would show them around, and they would stay in the dorms, and we would convince them of how great it was, and so that they could apply and we could increase our numbers of students of color at IU. So that was super cool. Yes.
Oh, I love that on all kinds of levels. I love that.
So good.
Yeah. So Courtney, and go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Courtney Flessner, also a professional learning specialist here at Keep Indiana Learning. My undergrad is Butler University. I like to tell people I applied to schools all along the Pacific Northwest coast and Butler, and ended up at Butler. And it came down to trying to decide between the University of Oregon and Butler. And I had the wherewithal for some reason at the age of 18 to be like, maybe college should be something more about being in a cool city in a cool part of the country. And the smaller environment was a very important piece of the puzzle for me, who struggled a little bit with engagement and being interested in actual schools. So which is super ironic given what I do now. I know. So I ended up at Butler, and it was a really amazing decision on so many levels. And but every once in a while, when I see the Oregon Ducks doing something amazing in sports, I'm like, I could have been a duck.
I could have been a duck. But you chose
I love that. I love that. Well, as you can see, I went to IU for my undergrad, and at fourth grade, I had decided IU was for me. I don't know why in fourth grade that was the dream. In high school, I did look at and apply to some other schools, but then decided being a Hoosier was where my heart was. And Courtney, I really chose IU for the exact opposite reason you chose Butler. I went to a very small high school, grew up very small town, rural Indiana, where everybody knew everything about you. And I needed to go to a place where I could be a number. You know, that whole, you'll just be a number, no one will know you. Yes, please sign me up. That's what I needed.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Bloomington was that perfect fit for me. Still a bit, not an urban setting, a bit smaller town, but man, just the opportunities it provided. And I was just fine sitting in a lecture hall with 300 people. I had no
Yeah.
problem with that at all. Please,
Yeah.
yes. So interesting
Well,
how
I say
colleges fit.
seriously, and I say kudos to you both for being so disciplined that you got up to go to your lecture hall of 300 people. I've been like, no one's gonna know if I'm there.
Yes.
So I chose a college that was smaller than my high school for that very reason.
There is that. There is a possibility of just kind of like not showing up, but for me, that wasn't a possibility because I knew that somebody was paying big bucks.
Yes.
And if
That's
I
just
didn't
straight
make
up
this
respect.
work, then I would get in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, another day, Courtney, I'll tell you my story about the lecture hall with 300 people because I have a very specific college memory of a lecture hall in Woodburn Hall, but that's a story for another day. So we'll jump into why we're here our first Friday. We love this time where we can share all the great things that are going on at Keep Indiana Learning. How do you stay in the loop with all we have going on? Because now that school has started, things have picked back up. Our calendar is filling up. So if you go to our website and click on Browse Upcoming Live Events, and that'll open this entire calendar. And the beauty of this calendar is twofold. You can click on events that you are interested in, and it will take you right there. You can learn about it and register. Boom, done right from the calendar. But the other thing, I don't have it in the screenshot, but at the top of the calendar, you can add these events directly to your calendar. So it's super easy to stay in the know. If you're in charge of a district calendar and you need to share professional development opportunities with a lot of people, this is the way to do it, is use that green button at the top. So stay in the loop with our monthly calendar. We keep this up to date. You can look months in advance and see what's going on here at Keep Indiana Learning. So Tanika, you want to tell us about some live streams we have coming up this month?
Yes, we do have some live streams coming up here in September and during the season of summer. It's like a combination of fall and summer. You like that? I made that up. Okay. We have a couple of things going on. The Lit Gals. I love that name because it is twofold. Like it has two meanings. It's like lit, like yeah, like lit, like exciting. And then it's lit like literature. I just love it. It's just so catchy. But that group is with Anna Cook and Martie and April Long. This Martie, our Martie here. And they just get together and have that lighthearted banter about literacy and books for readers of all ages. So that live stream is taking place the second Wednesday of every month at 3:30 p.m. So if you want to tune in and get lit with the Lit Gals, then they will be there for that. Colorful Conversations in ECE. So join our early childhood education friends. That's Kristen and Angelina. So Kristen, I think it's Parisi. Is that how you say it? And Angelina Williams will discuss timely topics impacting our small babies, our smalls, our littles, early childhood education. So you can join them on Wednesday, September 14th at 6 p.m. You can log on to the Keep Indiana Learning YouTube channel in order to join them. And then let's get excited about STEM. So you can join Dana, Elaine, and Carissa each month as they share ways to incorporate STEM in every class, every day. I love that because sometimes people think that STEM, for a long time, we all have in our defense, for a long time that it was a separate thing. And now STEM is now being integrated with all of our content areas, and that makes me excited. So join them to hear about how we can incorporate STEM every day in every way in every class. So the live streaming on Keep Indiana Learning YouTube channel will occur every third Monday of each month at 5:00 p.m.
Yeah, and those two new live streams, those are just some great groups of people. They're so much fun to work with. And I'm just so excited to bring them to our platform. And so if you can't catch them live, you can always catch them on the recording. The beauty of YouTube, those will be sitting there waiting for you. So I'm super excited about these live streams we have going on this month. And Courtney, we have some great Counselor Connect events coming up in the next 2 weeks. So you want to tell us about those?
Yeah, we really do. I continue to be in awe of the content that our Counselor Connect group is able to put together because of just how they are making sure that they are hitting needs that of all children and all teachers and all of our students and administrators, and just what people need to hear and learn about. And so there's just constantly so much change. And this first event on September 7th about the legal ins and outs of accommodating our trans and non-binary students. This is a big topic because of laws that have come forward in the state of Indiana. So this is one not to miss because of the need for being able to make sure that we are accommodating our children in the way that we need to accommodate them, but also making sure we're doing it legally so that, we don't get in trouble, I guess, is sort of the bottom line on that. But this is for sure on September 7th going to be a great virtual conversation with Jessica Heiser. So you should definitely log into that if you are a counselor or, really someone that works with students.
And that one won't be on YouTube. It'll be on Zoom. So you need to register for it to get the link, but I will get it to YouTube 3 or 4 days after the event. So it does eventually end up on YouTube. It's just not an immediate to YouTube like this or some of our other things. But speaking of legal issues, there you go, Courtney. There's one more.
We have a theme for the month of September. No, I'm just kidding. But are we not constantly thinking about the why we're doing what we're doing and how we make sure we are doing it in the best way? I actually remember attending sessions like this as a teacher and understanding to learn what am I supposed to do in the event of. And there were so many things that I never even thought of. So sessions like this one, don't risk going to jail, the duty to report child abuse or neglect. Like, these are important topics that maybe we don't want to be, thinking is something we have to think about, but in reality, we just do. So having access to the knowledge that we need and the information that we need is so crucial. And the fact that we have an actual attorney coming in that's going to give us actual information, not stuff that we're just Googling or finding at random on social media or, hearing, in passing. This is the session for you. So make sure to sign up for that. And Martie, is this another one where it's a Zoom and then it will be on YouTube later?
Yes. And the beauty of them being on Zoom is, you can interact. Jessica on the previous one is an attorney as well. So you can ask your questions live. So it's great that they're in that Zoom format that you can ask your question, get it answered, but then we'll get it out to YouTube so you have access to it later.
Yeah, this content is good stuff.
Yeah. And I'm going to wrap up this part of our conversation. Actually, not this part of our conversation. I'm just going to talk about our PR series. This is a series we're doing all school year long with the Donovan Group. This is a partnership between media services here at CIESC and Keep Indiana Learning and the Donovan Group. All kinds of things that school communications professionals need to think about as they navigate all that there is to navigate as you try to communicate with your parents and your families and your community at large. And then when reporters get involved, this series or this session this month about how to effectively answer interview questions.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's a better topic for communications professionals to think about, because yes, they have college degrees, our communications professionals in our districts, and yes, they're good at what they do, but things have gotten a little touchy lately. And so you need to be prepared to answer those questions well. So September 20th, that is here on YouTube. So join in for that. And if you go to the website there that's listed, it will show you all the topics for the entire year. So you could go ahead and mark your calendars for a year's worth of these great, quick learning snippets from the Donovan Group. So this is a really great opportunity. Quality information provided free right at your desk, which is just a lovely combo.
Nice.
So Tanika, you were talking about our babies, our earliest learners. Why don't you tell us about this series that's kicking off this month?
Yes, our littles. So we have, we're going to talk about the early childhood education and curriculum in this fall series, and it kicks off on September 21st at 6:30, and you'll be hearing from Kristen Parisi and Angelina Williams. And once again, if you can't attend live, the session is available in the Engagement Center the following day. You can find the Engagement Center on our Keep Indiana Learning page, but you'll be talking about with them or hearing about on September 21st at 6:30 p.m. meeting, curriculum mapping. And then on the next one, demystifying curriculum for home-based providers on October 5th at 6:30. And then more than sand and water. I love that because the rigor has bumped up for the littles. Like when I was small, I didn't have very many demands on me, but now it's hard being small at school. So it's more than just going to school and no demands. Things are changing and we're getting babies ready to have more rigorous engagement and education as they get into elementary school. So you'll hear more about that on October 19th at 6:30 p.m.
Yeah, these are great sessions. These are through our Engagement Center, which is also another way that you can ask questions of the presenters. So it's a super quick registration. And, Kristen and Angelina are right there ready to take your questions. And they're just great presenters, and they have decades worth of experience that they bring to the table. So we're in good hands as we build our early childhood learning offerings for our folks. All right, so Tanika and Courtney, the reason you're here is our new teacher cadre. I have been talking about this on Twitter. I've been talking about this on Facebook. Anybody I know that's a new teacher, I promise I have talked about this to them. I am so excited because I would not have survived as a new teacher had it not been for Shelly Rankin across the hall, who mentored me through. And some of our mentoring sessions happened in the McDonald's drive-through as we went and got an ice cream cone during our prep period multiple times a week, when the McDonald's ice cream machine was working, but that's okay. So mentor teachers are so important. So why don't you talk to us about the new teacher cadre?
Yeah, I love that you're talking about, you so well remember your mentor teacher. Mine was Sue Calger, I'll never forget that. And it was so great to have her to go to in that moment's notice and talk to, but she was still an experienced teacher. And sometimes I felt like I couldn't say all the things I wanted to say or ask all the questions I wanted to ask because I didn't want to feel dumb or whatever. So there were a group of us from college who were still in town in Indianapolis. Then we would meet once a month at Quiznos, and we would get a sandwich and we would talk about how's it going and what's happening and what's hard and what's not and what are you learning and what are you learning and what are they saying about this. And that became those were my people. Sue was my go-to in that moment, but that group that I had outside of school really became who I learned so much from because we were learning and growing together. So the idea of the new teacher cadre is to give everybody a space for that. Tanika and I will have really specific topics that we'll talk about, but there's always going to be room for conversation, for the question of how's it going, for specific questions that we can touch upon the next time we meet, and things like that. So we're really, really excited about this. I love teaching. I love teachers, and I want people to love it as much as I do. So being able to guide new teachers through this time in their lives will be great. And for us new teachers, it's not just your first year. We're really thinking it's those first few, second, third year teachers, or maybe people that left and have come back and they feel like they're starting all over again. There's lots of different categories that might fall in. So you want to say a little bit about logistics, Tanika?
Absolutely. Before I do, I want to talk about the same type of thing. I remember my official mentor was Sarah Ward. She was a 6th grade teacher and I was a 5th grade teacher. So she was just kind of like directly diagonal across the hall. She helped me with a lot of things. She was very wise, but she also helped me with that very thick, what do you call that? First couple years, it was like that probationary period. You have to put together a big old portfolio.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, death to portfolios. That was I had to do that. And so she helped me to get that together and all of that. She was my official mentor, but I had so many unofficial mentors. And I would just go to their door and they would just look at me and say, okay, we got it. What is it? Like, what is the matter? And I'm like, I broke it. Whatever it is, I broke it. If it's a kid. And they're like, I promise you didn't. So I think about Shatara Pratcher at that time. We worked down the hall. She worked down the hall for me. I don't think if it wasn't for her, I still keep in contact with her, I would have made it. She just had such a down-to-earth perspective, but still yet so great at what she did. And she helped me to not sweat the small stuff. And it was very helpful. We also in Wayne Township had GCLs. Don't ask me what it stood for or stands for because I don't know. But I tell you what, I liked going to them because it brought together all of the new teachers in one place once a month. Does that sound familiar? Like we had a collaborative time together with other new teachers, and I didn't feel like a fish out of water. I felt like, okay, I don't know this, you probably don't either, so we in this thing together. Like I felt great going to those, and we had a different topic every month to discuss what we needed to discuss in order to make us better as teachers. And I think that if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have had my toolbox of things to carry me on even to the next year as a second year teacher. So logistics, speaking of, we will have 2 meetings per month. They will occur in the evening. We figured with everything going on during the school day, of course, right after dismissal really wasn't the best time. So if you just kind of get yourself home fast enough and settled to log in with us at 6, from 6 to 7, just an hour of time to get some content and connect with other new teachers or even veteran teachers. I could assure you that probably will make a world of difference. We will be doing this for 10 months. So it will happen from September 15th until May of 2023. And so all year you'll have this cadre and it will be available for you to have that support all year long. Everybody needs PGPs. So come and get the PGPs. You can get 30 virtual or 30 PGPs because you will attend virtually, and it'll help you with your renewal and your license and all of that good stuff you have to do to keep your job. You can use, that's important. You can use the code. Everybody loves a sale, y'all. So until September 6th, so that's coming up, you can use the code New Year 22 for the $25 registration. So it's 75% off. I don't know about you, but when I hear the percentage, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get that sale. So 75% off, you can get it for $25, and that ends 9/6. So that's coming up pretty quickly. Did I miss anything?
Yeah, well, something you didn't say that what I'm so excited about on this cadre is the cadre itself. The learning is great, but now you've got this built-in PLC that as a new teacher, yes, you've got people down the hall and yes, you know other people, but man, these are like these built-in people that you've made relationships with.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's the biggest takeaway from this. The learning is great, but man, the people are there. And the people are with you through the process, you know, from now till forever. They can be a resource for you. So I just think that is so exciting. And I love what you guys are doing with this.
Yes,
Thanks,
I
Martie.
did miss something, and it's the Canvas course. So you will get the plug. You'll get the plug to the resources for new teachers and the access to the discussion forum in Canvas. So that also comes with the $25 registration. You'll get access to the Canvas course, and you'll be able to connect with them or the other teachers even when we're not actively meeting.
Yeah, love that. Anything else either of you want to add?
No, I'm just really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting teachers. And you know, having a space where people can bring a problem of practice and it being a safe spot to learn and grow. So it's good. It's going to be really good.
I'm excited
That
about
safe space. That's what it's all about. So, ladies, we are at the end of our time. Thank you so much for being guests on First Friday. It was great to chat with you. We are back next month on October 7th, where we will share all kinds of new things, and it will be officially fall by then. So we'll be out of Summer? Is that what you
Yeah,
called it?
no more summer. It'll be
Summer.
fall.
It will be fall. It will be fall on October 7th. So thank you, ladies, viewers. Thank you so much. Please reach out to us here at Keep Indiana Learning on Twitter, from our website. We're all over wherever you are, we are. And so please reach out if you have any questions. But thank you so much for being a part of our show today, and have a great Labor Day weekend.
Thanks, Martie.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.